Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Kol Haloim Yahweh by Shim Yahweh Shai by Shim Raka Kadash wa Barakatam. First and foremost, I want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who continue to teach me this truth and who rule well. Shalom to my fellow Akim, fellow elect, as well as to my few sisters. So, I've been pretty much mostly studying for most of the day, mostly looking up things about herbs. I've been feeling kind of down lately. I haven't really slept. I didn't sleep at all last night, actually. I don't think I even got an hour of sleep. New York City, there's just been fireworks nonstop. And the fucking city hasn't done a goddamn thing about it. What's that dickhead's name? De Blasio said that he was going to go do something about it. And then he didn't. So, I'm just fucking assed out. Alright, there's fireworks every night. And if there's not fireworks, my fucking mother in the next room is making all kinds of noise. So, hey, fuck. I'm fucked. I'm fucked in the ass either way. Alright? Lord's will, as I said before, I'm going to make my own little business or whatever, my own little side hustle. Lord's will, that gets off and I'm able to make a little bit of bread. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I've been doing all day. Alright? But today's video is NATO planning the weapons of the future to take on China. Alright? Now we all know that this is a goddamn fucking, like, whatever they tell you, right? This is what they do to fool the dumb masses. They're not preparing just for war in goddamn China, okay? At those G7 talks, China sent in spies and diplomats there. They're not working against each other. They're all on the same goddamn team, okay? And with those Bilderberg talks, I think they call them, between the West and the East, these guys still meet up and they still talk, okay? These guys are not really, like, fucking against each other. They're all a part of the illuminated ones, okay? But in here, they talk about they're going to develop, Slovakia, they're going to develop a new kind of weapon, not a new kind of weapon. The NATO is going to develop a weapons bureau or weapons division called Diana. All right, and if you look up Diana, Diana is the goddess of the hunt. So what are they hunting? All right, we got to ask ourselves that. Now they say they're going to take on China, but no, they're preparing to take on Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 10. It's just the point. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? This is our enemy, man. This is our enemy. Okay? Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Alright? This is what they've been doing, man, with the homosexuality that they heavily push, with the fucking the pokes, the darts that they keep pushing in people and pushing those damn things out, which more than likely the dart is the MOB. Alright, which I believe a couple brothers have brought out. I believe Nonstop on the Block, I think his name is Yakali Nop. I'm not sure if that's his name. Slack if I got it wrong, but that brother Nonstop on the Block, he brought that out, that the dart, some of the darts could have the RFID already in it. So you dumbasses that took the dart and were happy to go get it, y'all just fucked yourselves, literally. So, that's what these guys are planning to do. This is just the beginning. This just shows you that the one world order is already here. They already have it together. That they're just all gonna band together to destroy Russia, China. All right, they already showed that they're all together. Okay. And let's get Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Exactly. And that's going to how, they started to cover the faces of our judges, of our kings. You can read about that in the book of Maccabees, where it talks about how the heathens painted over our images. Painted their likenesses in our books. All right, and that's what the heathen always do. It always does. All right, and he did it with the Renaissance, and he did it before then. I didn't really look too far into it, but those Masoretes, when it says Doeg the Edomite in the book of Samuel, I think it's First Samuel, Doeg the Edomite, that word there is actually Syrian. And if you have the actual physical Strong's Concordance, they'll tell you that, yeah, that's an error, and that's actually Syrian, not Edomite. All right, Edomites, we didn't. Now you had Edomite Jews, okay? You had Edomite Jews, but they were not real Jews. They were just forced converts, all right? Which, when you own a slave, right? We always did that. If you own a slave, we force them to follow our customs. We're not gonna have niggas down here still praying to fucking Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck you think is going on, man? We're not gonna have niggas doing that. Or Moab praying to Buddha. No, we gonna change their shit. Same thing with concubines. We weren't having concubines running around doing their own thing. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 31 verse 1. What's when they go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they're many, and in horsemen because they're very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek their Lord. And if you think that this is actually gonna do us some help, then I don't really know what to tell you, man. Because all they're doing, and more than likely, right? And the guy at the end of the RT video said that, oh, they're making new weapons just to give it to Saudi Arabia, which that's an excellent point. They are gonna go do that. They're gonna take these new weapons, these new bombs, these new machine guns, laser tech, because they already have laser tech, like a beam weapon that can like cut you in half. I believe I saw that. They have things that can make people invisible and fly and shit, and that whole Philadelphia experiment. They already can teleport shit if you believe in it. I believe the Philadelphia experiment was a real thing. So really, this isn't just to fight China. They're probably making things to fuck over the elect, and just to fuck over people in general. Because you don't think any of these new weapons are gonna be taken to the people, Because a lot of those weapons that they made, like rubber bullets, they developed those things a long time ago, man, and they developed them just for people, just to take down unarmed civilians. Okay, so they don't think that they're gonna use some of that stuff on Jake, all right, on the average Edomite who don't want to take the dart. All right, come on, man, come on. So this is Matthew chapter 24. Now this is talking about the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, but I think that it's able to be applied here. 24 verse 6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is not yet. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation rise against kingdom, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Which some of these pestilences and famines are self-induced, okay? Because we know at the beginning of the pandemic that the U.S. ordered those farmers to start burning their own crops, to start throwing away their own produce and throwing away the milk. All right, and Amazon just got caught throwing away their products, okay, unsold products. So we know what's going on. They're doing that shit on purpose. They're just throwing out supplies, okay. And the earthquakes, we already know about the earthquakes. Earthquakes are still here, and more are gonna come. But the earthquakes also go into them nukes, man, and missiles and battles. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. Theosophy, that's coming up too. All right, Theosophy. I mean, I've already seen it make a little bit of rounds, not that much, but once the New World Order is in place and they're ready to start pushing out the RFID, I believe that's when they're going to push out Theosophy. The idea that they think that, I've already heard some retarded things, like they think that King David is a homosexual. The scriptures never says that, all right? And King David is not a homosexual. The love he had between him and, hold on, let me make sure I get the guy's name right. King David, because I've read this, love, yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, so Jonathan loved David, King David, which he wasn't a king back then, he's just David, loved David as his own soul. That doesn't mean that he was a homosexual. It just means he had brotherly love for him. All right, that's how you're supposed to love your brother, not homosexual love. Okay, all right. And deliver us to be afflicted. That's talking about those camps, man. If you know about Project Megiddo, old King Alfred plan, they have our shit on document. Like, you know what I'm saying? They already have a list of us, okay? And they already have our location. They know how to get to us. So that's why there's gonna be that famine of the word, because Lord's will, the angels, they're gonna come down. They're gonna help you out in those days. You may have to leave your phone on your computer. I mean, to you niggards out there who are too connected to your phone, in them final days, you better leave your phone home, because the phone has chips in it, and they could track the chips down, and they could follow your ass. All right. So in those days, you're gonna have to leave the phone. All right. So I'm gonna go on a little bit more. Believe it not. I want to get where it's. Yep. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, with the chariots. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to the other. Okay? And that's how it's gonna end. We're gonna be gathered, Lord's will, in those chariots. Alright? From the four corners of the earth. And that's not talking about heathens, okay? Because when you look into the word Gentile, most of the times it usually says ethnos or it says Helena, okay? Those talking about those Hellenistas, right? Those Hellenists, meaning people of other races that were made to follow Greek culture, okay? Now, if I was around back then, right? Now let's use some common sense, right? I'm an American. Now, let's say the events of the Bible took place today, right? In this time period took place today, and Yahushua was walking around today, okay? And he had niggas named like fucking John and Joey, names like that, right? Which John, that's not really biblical. He had it doesn't sound like that in the Greek, right? But you get my point. Let's say people had Americanized names. It would say, oh, he's an American. Oh, you are an American. No, you can have Israelites that are called American, okay? Like you had Israelites in China that would probably be called Chinese, because that's the nation of the birth. He's a Chinese man, okay? Doesn't mean he's like an ethnic Chinese. It means he's an Israelite in China. All right, and this is the last scripture I want to get. I don't want to drag it out too long. This is Revelation chapter 18, verses 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom, Yahushua, and of the bride, we are the bride, shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy mercy with the great men of the earth, for by the sorceries were all nations deceived, and from the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth. All right, it's talking about us, man, because a lot of us are going to get killed. A lot of us, you're going to be in the camps. You might get killed in the camps. If you saw that movie, shit, what was that movie called? What was it called? Songbird, was it? Shit. It's like let me fucking pull it up, man. Because I should have this movie in the back of my head. COVID 23 movie. It was some movie. Songbird. It is Songbird. Yeah. I saw this movie. But, they're gonna be drones flying around policing. Okay. Because there's already a shortage of police, and they already have robot dogs. So they're gonna have drones. Who knows? They're also probably developing that with NATO. Okay. New drone technology. Probably gonna have fucking flying platforms for cops and shit. You know what I'm saying? Unmanned vehicles. Unmanned tanks that have machines in them that you just gotta program them and they just gun niggas down. All right, because you can already see that they're kind of doing away with the police officers, man. Especially here in New York, I believe half of New York City police staff are all gone. Okay. And that's why you got these niggas with the fireworks all damn night, all right? And you can go look up articles about that if you're particularly interested, but, living here has become like hell, man, because, there's no sleep. There's no rest, And, sometimes able to get like a little bit of shut-eye throughout the day, but, it's taking its toll, man. But Lord's will, I be preserved in these days, man. You know, whoever's doing the fireworks, may Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai curse you and kill you. Alright? Alright, that's all I got. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all I got. Shalom.